debase your money, and money is your time and energy in abstracted form. By proxy, they're debasing you.
Yep.
When they're making the money less valuable, they're making you less valuable.
You have to take a few steps to really understand Bitcoin. And I think the very, very first step that most people don't understand is, what is money? Mm-hmm. They don't understand that. And if you can't understand what is money, you obviously won't get Bitcoin. And then, the second step is, well, what is good money? Like, what values do I want the money that I hold to have? And so, most of my liquid assets are in Bitcoin, but Jack's further. Jack doesn't have a bank account. He said, I think he probably talked me into it, but I'll probably talk to him more afterwards and go all the way down that rabbit hole. But, so once you understand what is money and then what is good money, then you can start taking the road to Bitcoin. And if you don't understand those things, you may just be in for the number go up. Oh, number went up. I made money. Oh, right. Great. And that's it. You don't understand. That's all you understand.
Well, so you transact everything in Bitcoin?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I approach it with first principle of the dollar only goes down with time. How much do you want to own of a thing that only goes down? None of it. Okay. Bitcoin only goes up with time. How much of the thing that only goes up do you want to own? As much as possible. So I looked myself in the mirror at some point and I said, well, why do I own any dollars if they only go down? Is it because I've been programmed and my first principle thinking has been stripped from my brain by going to university? Why do I own any of these things? And so the way I set up my life and our company, we sell this product, but I'm not even here to be a salesman, is I get my paycheck, direct deposit, 100% converted into Bitcoin, and it's a account routing number, and I pay my bills from.
So this leads to the question, what is money? What actually is money? What is it that you believe money is, or how it's derived, or its value, or anything else? This is a great clip here from Tim Pool. He has Culture Wars. Great panel there with Jack. I'm going to go into more details of that with Strike and his account and everything else, and some things I made previous videos of. But this is a really good clip that really drives home what is money and how you should perceive money moving forward. If sure a lot of people already have and been putting money in crypto or in Bitcoin and other whatever you've been doing, tech stocks, NASDAQ 100, whatever you're doing, whatever asset class to try to get out of the devalue of inflation and the debasement of the U.S. currency or the fiat of whatever country you're in. It's a really great conversation. So I wanted to show this clip and go into this, and I think this is really going to help people see things a little differently or confirm what you already believe. So without further ado, let's get back into it.
My Bitcoin balance as well. So I spend on credit cards. Credit cards are a great product for me because I get to spend the thing that only goes down without having to own it. Right. And so I got Amex, Chase Sapphire, Fidelity card. And then at the end of the month, my account pulls from my Bitcoin, converts to Bitcoin, pays the bills automatically. And wow, people get really hung up on the tax burden, but what people don't understand is Bitcoin is taxed as a capital gain. Capital gain means you made money. Capital gain means Bitcoin went up. And so yes, the fact that I have to share my gain with the government, we can talk about the philosophical debate all day long, but the reality is this: I'd rather give the government a little bit of my gain than have gotten debased and inflated. That's the ultimate tax, is if I'm sitting in dollars. So the fact that I'm in the best performing asset of all time and I have to share a little bit with the government when I pay a bill, that's a way better deal than just getting persistently poor forever. And so listen, Bitcoin's up over 100% this calendar year. 100% is a fancier way for those at home of saying the thing's more than doubled. More than doubled if it's my base checking account, if it's my capital asset. That's another way of saying my life's gotten over half off this year. So, right? I mean, in fiat, in dollar terms, what is just getting by today is poverty tomorrow. In Bitcoin, what is poverty today is good enough for tomorrow, right? So I've reversed my life entirely. Things get cheaper for me.
Hey, as we get into this video, just want to real quick show the two platforms and hope you please use my links below. You earn $5, I earn $5, nothing major, but we both win in the long run. So here is the Strike, of course, where you can buy your Bitcoin. You can get paid directly from your direct deposit of income in Bitcoin. And now you can pay your bills in Bitcoin and live on Bitcoin, which this video is going to go into more details on how to live a life more richly, but also how to make your life cheaper over time. How your money can actually buy more over time with the same money you make. Okay, that's number one. Number two, here is River. River is a great platform if you want to keep cash, and you have to keep cash. So basically, full FDIC insured for money you have to keep in cash, 0 fees for recurring buys. We're going to do it through Strike. We're not going to do it through River unless you want to just move money around and play. That's up to you. But the biggest thing is for the money you have to keep in cash. Look right here. 3.8% a year, but you earn the interest in Bitcoin instead of earning 0.2% in your checking account. Even if your checking account paid you 3%, you'd have $100 in cash. You earn $3 in US fiat dollars. That keeps the basing going down. Would you rather earn $3.80 in fiat? Or would you rather earn $3.80 for every 100 in Bitcoin so you have sats that will go up over time? So that 3.8%, when you go over time and the sats appreciate, you're earning 10, 15, 20% interest on your cash. Who else is going to give you that? 50%, 100% interest on your cash. You can't earn that anywhere else because you get paid monthly in sats. So links below. Please use both. I greatly appreciate it. And now back to the video.
Jack's done a real big service for common people, right? Because he's putting it in a way now where it becomes very familiar to everybody. I think early on in Bitcoin and when everyone's going down their own journey, people start with it as this really speculative asset, and they think that really the only thing you can do with it is trade it. That's kind of the way everyone viewed it for a very long time. And that was actually how I started out. I bought Bitcoin back in 2013, made the joke with my dad saying maybe we should just buy 1,000, see how it works. Right?
Oh, man.
We didn't do that, unfortunately. But then it went from $270 to $1,400. I sold the initial amount that I bought, thought I was a trading genius, right? Like it was a good feeling. I thought I won, right? And now time's gone on and you realize what it is that you were holding. And it took me a couple of years, probably until 2017, to really have it click for me what was happening. And that when you're looking at Bitcoin, the beauty that it brings to us is it gives everyone an education in economics that they're not going to get anywhere else.
Yes.
Right? Most people, when you go to school, they'll teach you all of your standard talking points around inflation, but you don't really understand how it impacts your life and the life of the people you care about. And the reason that Bitcoin really grabbed me was because it was the only one of these digital assets that people told other people they care about it. They weren't trying to get people into a speculative play to pump it. Like, you're telling your family members, you're telling your close friends, like it's one of the only assets that you find these communities going, no, really, I want you to get into this, and I want you to get into this because I see what's happening broadly in the world that you're not seeing yet.
Yeah.
It's a protective thing that we can bring to the people we care about, and I think that's a really big component of what Bitcoin's brought, and it's really helped get the message out in a way that shows people there's an alternative now. There didn't used to be. You used to be trapped in the fiat system. Now there's an alternative, and Jack's building the rails for how the rest of the world's going to be able to use this.
Well, the what is money is the critical piece, in my opinion. I couldn't agree with Ben more. People,
what is it?
So money is the market good that you acquire not to consume. Very simple, but super important. I acquire a cheeseburger to eat it. I acquire a plane or a car to transport me. I acquire money not to eat it, not to move me around, not to live in it like a house. I acquire it to store, save, and exchange my labor, my effort, my time, my energy. Money is your time and energy in an abstracted form. Before money, we had barter. In a society of 10 people, barter's fine. Hey, you go hunt. You go build the homes, you take care of the kids. At dinner, we all exchange our services and our contributions to society. You want an economy of 8 billion people. You need an instrument to abstract your time, energy, effort, labor into a monetary market good that you acquire, again, not to consume it. Now, people think money is what we decide we want it to be. If I wanted water bottles to be money, I could be money. And
Bottle caps.
Right. Totally. Yeah. And trading cards. And because the government decided dollars are money, then that's what money is. Money is not. Money is a technology just like an airplane. If I decided an airplane was a banana and I tried to fly here to do this podcast on a banana, I would have killed myself. There would have been physical harm because it's not the right technology to have flown me through the clouds. Same with money is if I decide money is dollars, it's poor technology. I will just end up poor. I will end up with less food, less housing, less travel, less kids, less vacation, less stuff. So money, the most important property of money as a market good is scarcity. How hard is it to create more of it? Because I'll tell you this, if they can debase your money, and money is your time and energy in abstracted form, by proxy, they're debasing you.
Yep.
When they're making the money less valuable, they're making you less valuable.
But first it's gold and precious metals.
Yep.
Right. So if we go back
All right, so do me a favor right now. If you're enjoying this, give this a like, leave me a comment, definitely subscribe to the channel if you have not already. But what do you think? That was a pretty powerful statement, right? That if they're debasing money and they're debasing the value of it, they're debasing you, they're debasing your time. If you're sacrificing the thing that you cannot replicate, time, the only thing you can never make more of in your life, and they're debasing it, and they could just print it out of thin air, that you're sacrificing the most precious commodity you have in your life, which is your time. That means, what do they value of you? What is the long game? What are they trying to achieve? Everyone knows what they're doing and how they're doing it, and why everybody's getting poorer, and why we have more and more uprising and more issues in the world because of fiat money and what the invention of Bitcoin has done. And there's other cryptos and things and assets. And that's why the stock market keeps making all new time highs. Because all the people with money keep pouring their future worthless fiat into things that will appreciate, into technology companies, into the NASDAQ 100 that are doing things and making things that are having the money go up on average about 15% a year. That's what it's been doing. So people pour their money into real estate, to houses they don't even plan on either living in, because they're trying to store their money in exchange for something that will appreciate over time, so they can remain their purchasing power and they can grow their assets over time and not lose it all from all the time, sacrifice, efforts they've been doing. So it's a really powerful statement. So I really like to have some of your comments. Would be much appreciative if you don't mind adding it and doing so. I want to hear what you think on all this, and I hope you're enjoying this. And let's continue.
First it's gold and precious metals.
Yep.
Right. So if we go back, it's I actually have these really cool. I have a silver Greek coin, and gold was valuable. I guess we largely believe because it's easy to press and it's relatively scarce. So that way,
durable.
right?
Yes.
So these rulers were like, okay, it's going to be hard for someone to counterfeit this, and then we can assert that this is a valuable thing, and then at some point, you get people saying like, well, I'll store it in the bank, it's too heavy. And then they'll write me a note saying, here's how much I got.
Yeah.
And then eventually it's like, I'll just give you the note. I don't got to go get the gold. You can just hand this to them and they'll give you the gold. And then eventually the government went, we don't even need the gold. Yeah. Severed the gold from it and said, now you have government pieces of paper that we determine as valuable. And if you try and copy it, we'll lock you up. And through threat of force and violence, they maintain that control. But now that they can print in access to infinity, and largely because it's become a digital, like the U.S. currency, I believe, is like 98% digital.
Yes.
They can just type in a computer, enter, boom, there's money.
Yes.
Instantly, all of your money becomes worth less. The easy way to explain it is, if there are 10 apples in the market being shared between people, there's a value of that apple. If the government then comes in and then just gives everybody at the same time a ton of money, they're all of their like, they've just given themselves half the value of that labor force. They come in and buy all the apples.
Yes.
So
and that's happened with other monies. Think about the Rye Stone, and they were using that for a currency. And then some British explorer came and they mined it all and they brought it in, and it debases the currency immediately. The other thing I think we should note that we haven't said yet is we have been talking strictly about U.S. dollars, and U.S. dollars is actually the best fiat currency. Most fiat currencies are significantly worse than the U.S. dollar, inflating at much higher rates. And because we've had the world reserve currency, we've been like insulated from further debasement. But, of the 8 billion people, 300 some million live in America, and we've had the best treatment of fiat currency. But there's a lot of countries who are way worse off, where, they get their paycheck on Friday. By Monday, they're
That's
worth less.
true, but I like using the U.S. dollar because now it's real in America. Sure. It used to be, you guys don't understand what the government's doing. Trust me, if you lived in Nigeria, you'd recognize it. Now, if you live in Manhattan, you recognize it.
Yeah.
And really, for me, it's no man should work for what another man can print. And so I don't do dollars strictly out of just principle. I will not live my life and contribute my time and energy for what another man can print. The properties money needs, scarcity is the most important, but it needs to be saleable and liquid. You need to be able to exchange it at any point for whatever you need. You need to have liquidity. It needs to be divisible. It's a measuring instrument in an economy. It needs to be able to measure a grain of sand or a professional sports team. So it needs to be able to scale to any transaction size. It needs to be portable. I got to be able to move it. I need to be able to verify its authenticity. If I can't tell the difference between a fake and a real one, these are the properties that define if a money is a good technology to solve the problem.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Culture War podcast. We're live every
So what do you think? There's a lot more to this. There was a really, really long talk. I might get some more clips I'm probably going to take out from this. But what do you think? I mean, what's your feedback on this? How do you feel about all that? The fact that, again, why would you want to own something and work for something that someone else can print? Now, we don't have a choice in that. But Strike is giving now an option. And I said, I'm starting, and I already have started it. And this next couple of days, I have another big, another dump going in to start my journey into earning, basically transferring my fiat money into Bitcoin and then letting it accumulate over time and then paying bills and paying for my life off of Bitcoin and trying to turn myself into a future Bitcoin standard, which a lot more people might continue to keep doing. We're going to find out here. So love to know your feedback. Love to know your thoughts. Links below for this and for the main full Culture War podcast, which I'll use more of in the future. They had the whole thing was all about Bitcoin and crypto and fiat and all this. It was a great talk for a long time. It's like 3 hours long. Also links below to join for the strike. Again, you each get a couple of dollars. If you're interested in putting some money in River that you have to have in cash and fiat, but you want to at least earn your interest in Bitcoin instead of earning your interest in fiat, links below for all that. Wish you guys all the best. Going to a new week here. We got a lot of great things. Bitcoin's already pumping today, so on Sunday night. So as I end here, as always, here is to your success.